And if you're missing this part, I don't understand what you're doing this exercise for.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? You already know Cody Cancel from Cancel Fitness. It's been a little while, man. It's definitely been a little while, but we back. We back in action. We back in this. So in this video, I want to get a little bit into how to do a barbell squat and the different variations between whether low bar squat, high bar squat, and how to do it correctly. I see a lot of people compensate weight for the amount of actual depth that they can get, or as low as you can go. So people sacrifice form just for weight, and that's actually not beneficial for your legs in general. I want to just go through that a little bit. Before we get into that, just want to show you guys a toy that I got. When it comes to terms of my own like home gym and with my own clients in my house and of course myself, my gym only has dumbbells, right? My home gym only has dumbbells. I needed some kind of tool to manage like a barbell setup, so I ended up getting something called jayflex bar, and I found it on Instagram. I was getting random ads, to be honest, but it's like they heard what I was saying. I ended up buying it just so that I can have some form of barbell inside the crib that I can use myself for squats and also that I can use for my clients. So what I like about it is that you can clamp the dumbbells on either side. I mean, it is kind of weird since the dumbbells like on one side kind of feels like, I don't know, like more stability, I guess. I like it. It's a good tool that I have inside the home gym. I feel like I'm going to put a lot of good use to it. And no, I'm not sponsored by it at all. It's just some random shit that I bought. But I do like it. It works well, it gets the job done. And if you're at home gym or whatever, you don't have like a barbell or you don't feel like buying like 45-pound plates, like 800 of them, because like not everybody has that much space in their crib. So I think that this is a pretty good way of going about it. With that being said, I want to get right into how to squat.
There's two ways to do the squat, right? There's high bar, which you're going to emphasize on your quads, which is going to be more knee flexion. And then you have low bar, which is going to sit on your rear delt. And because it's sitting on your rear delt, you're going to have to hinge forward a little bit. And that in turn is going to stack your hips more. It's going to turn your glutes on more and your hamstrings. Typically, people can use more weight when they do a low bar squat. And typically people do it because they just want to lift heavy weight. But it does demand more shoulder mobility because since it's on the back of your shoulders, it's easy to snap your shit up. So when it comes to high bar squat, one of the main things is that you want to keep your hips open the whole time. So as you keep your hips open, you need to make sure that you're getting depth. If you're not getting depth, you're not doing this shit correctly, right? You need to be able to let your knees pass your toes. If that shit is not happening, once again, you are not doing it correctly. You need to get as much depth as possible. And if you don't have the mobility for it, then that just means you need to work on mobility. Don't change the exercise, just add some mobility work. It's not that hard, but just don't be lazy about it. Next, if you're doing low bar squat, the same difference. You want to make sure it's on your rear delt, your elbows are tucked under you or pushed in front of you a little bit and not flared out. So you want to make sure that when you're on your way down, you hinge a little bit, create space in the hip, and then all the way down at the bottom, right? None of this shit. That isn't a squat, man. That's a good morning / RDL. It's not a squat, right? So if you are sacrificing form in order to get this shit done, just take a step back. Take a step back and work on the little things. Make sure that you keep your hips open. Even a slight soft bend in the knee is going to be okay. That way there's always tension in the leg. But you do not want to sacrifice the bottom of the stretch, right? This is where the glutes are the most active. And if you're missing this part, I don't understand what you're doing this exercise for. Like, you need to be hitting that part. You need to be hitting depth. That way you can put the glutes in its maximum stretch. And that's where you can get the most power output out of it. That's how you get out of the hole, out of the bottom, so that you don't get stuck. Because when the weight gets too heavy and you realize that you can't get out the hole, it's because you've never practiced getting out of the bottom of the squat. You need to get comfortable down here. You need to be able to live down here. You need to be able to chill, relax, have a cup of tea, you dig? And then, yeah, so how was your day? Pretty good, pretty chill. I bet. Like, you should be able to do that. If you're not doing that, not doing the exercise correctly. So just take your time and actually do the exercise the way it's supposed to be done.
Just learn how to do the squat. If you feel like, oh, I can't get to the bottom of the squat, right? Typically, 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying this goes for all cases, but 9 times out of 10, you need to loosen up your calves, do some calf stretches, strengthen your tibialis, which is the front of the shins. Just do little stuff like that. Add that to every one of your leg days. Make sure that you're actually doing the little stuff. It sounds crazy to think that you're going to be able to get a better squat without paying attention to how your body actually works. There's literally no way that you're going to turn those muscles on if you don't even understand how to turn them on. So just pay attention to little stuff. Pay attention to actually getting down to the bottom of the squat and you'll be good to go. You don't have to sacrifice form. If you're young and new to the gym, please learn from the OGs because everybody's gotten hurt at some point. And if you're pretty much an OG in this game, come on, man, stop playing around. You already know what's gonna happen. I just want to help you guys, give you some tips on how to do the squat and where to put the placement for it, and just like little tips and tricks. You want me to make a full video on how to do it? I will, on like all the specifics. But I just want to touch on little things and how to like clean up certain things you're squatting and what's the difference between a low bar versus a high bar versus why you're doing each of them. That is the video, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Feels good to be back. I feel pretty chill about it. And yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of me. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.